Jeff. How
Hey,
are you?
Angie.
It's been a long time. We haven't spent time together.
I know. I haven't seen you since yesterday.
How was your flight back to Montreal?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. No issues.
Directly Kansas City to
No, I had
home.
to lay over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Took a little bit longer than
Yep.
planned. How did you like your show? I heard and I saw you. You were fantastic with the planning session.
Thank you. It was really fun. We did a little presentation, talked about supply chain planning, how some of those concepts that traditionally come from manufacturing can be used in food service because we have such a long tail of SKUs, such an assortment. Talked about SKU variability and how items that are really consistent should be treated differently than items that are inconsistent. And I think that resonated with people at the show.
Some of them were even asking a lot of questions, so I think it's a subject that people wants to learn more and more about this.
Yeah, I was happy that there weren't too many sessions that were similar to it because I think it's for some of the other topics that we'll talk about in a little bit, there may be overload because there's so many presentations about the same thing, right? Kind of like automation.
Yes, you're right. I think I saw 4 sessions throughout the 2 days that were talking on automation. So it's a popular subject. People wants to know more about that. They have a question that I think the answer is hard to get on the market. So it was well attended. The one that we did, I think we had 100 people showing up.
Yeah, I think it was about 100. Talking about, I think our approach was a little different in that we explained why automating in food service is hard, which really came down to 3 things. One is huge SKU assortment, a lot of slow movers. 2, having to pick in different units and measure. So we have a lot of split case picking in food service, but we also have full case. And then 3 is the fact that we have all these different size and shape rooms in the buildings, and any automation would have to adhere to those pre-existing spaces. And so our talk was more about what can we do within those constraints and what kind of automation do we think is coming in the future and will eventually be prevalent in food service, which is more on the mobile robot side and less on the shuttle fixed equipment side.
Well said. The other session that I saw that was really popular, it was also everything related to human resources, how to keep your people motivated at work, how to help with retention, as well as safety and have less injuries.
Yeah.
So a lot of, I guess, director of human resources was there to see that.
Yeah, and especially in like the trucking industry, it's very competitive. And so, and little things can irritate people, right? And because it's so competitive, if those little things irritate people, like you may lose them. So I was at one talk, and it was also an HR talk, and they had put in a lot of processes recently that weren't really costing the company much, but was just providing the drivers with, more direct time with managers, with ownership, making sure that everyone's treated fairly, just giving the drivers more of a voice, and that had made their productivity even higher, and it wasn't costing them really a cent. And so that was interesting to me because I didn't think that those kinds of changes were possible just with a few HR improvements,
So we learn, both of us, also a lot. How did you find your hours, booth hours? Because one thing that I really liked about this show is training session were in the morning, not interfering with the booth hours. So the show hours were in the afternoon. So you can get out a lot more content when they're not like competing with the same audience.
Agreed. It's always a little difficult when everything's competing, and so if there's nothing going on during a shorter amount of booth hours, you actually get more traffic per day than if the show hours are 10 hours. And it's also less exhausting for the exhibitors when we only have to be at the booth for 3 hours versus 7 or 8. So agreed. The schedule was amazing. It was very well organized. Even had free Chick-fil-A lunch, so that was nice.
You're right. It was the line was long, but it was delicious.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who helped with that organization. I appreciate the organization.
Yeah, and IFTA, we've been a member for a really long time, and it's a great organization. And I think the show has always tried to iterate and listen to the feedback. And I felt that this year it was really, I'm sure it was a great experience for people attending because there was a lot of different ways to engage. But for the exhibitors, having a reasonable schedule, but having enough time where the floor is open, giving us the opportunity to speak, those are really important things that drive the ROI for the show for us. And so it was a great show, and we're excited to go back next year. And we're already starting to talk about what we're going to talk about next year, right, Angie?
Yes, I think it might be related with automation. Let's meet for next week. It's a rendezvous.